Hello, welcome to Culture Hash. We're back, going to talk about the new album from Jack Peñate, After You. Jack Peñate is an English singer-songwriter from London. He was at the height of his fame about 10 years ago when he was at the forefront of that indie pop scene, very much part of that style where everyone had like massive hair, very skinny jeans. Jack Peñate was at the cusp of that, and he's got a little bit of a negative reputation, I suppose, for being the poster child for what people would back then call shitty indie pop for teenagers. After You is Jack Peñate's third full-length studio album. This is the first album that Peñate has released since 2009's Everything Is New. With Everything Is New and his debut project Matinee, Jack Peñate was at the forefront of the indie pop scene that was burgeoning in the late 2000s. The height of Peñate's success came in 2006, 2007 with big singles like Torn on the Platform and Second Minute or Hour. Jack Peñate's popularity crested alongside acts like the Arctic Monkeys and Franz Ferdinand. The Matinee album is also notable for Adele providing uncredited backing vocals for the track My Yvonne. Peñate is notable for giving Adele a bigger platform in the early stages of her career. So Jack Peñate disappeared for 10 years after the release of Everything Is New, with After You serving as his return. A lot of people have been wondering, what has Jack Peñate been doing for the last 10 years? And I think After All gives a pretty decent explanation. It sounds like Jack Peñate has just been sitting around in Peru, taking loads of psychedelics and thinking about God. Getting high and spiritualism are the two founding principles of this album, and they come together most notably on the lyrics for Loaded Gun, where Jack Peñate sings, "I'm so high, I'm divine." Spiritualism is fundamental to this project. Several tracks, such as Murder, features gospel-inspired call and response vocals. After You feels like Peñate trying to sum up the spiritual journey he's found himself on over the last 10 years, and this is closed out well on the final track, Swept to the Sky. The theme of this track deals with Jack Peñate feeling like he's found himself after so many years of being lost. Swept to the Sky has got gorgeous, shimmering production. Everything feels really wide and cavernous. It really gives the track an epic feel. Jack Peñate's After You is an album I was very surprised by. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I have. After 10 years off, it would have been quite easy for Peñate to just update his sound. Indie pop is still relatively successful in the pop charts, but instead he's taken listeners on a psychedelic, spiritual journey. I love the experimentation on here, but I feel like Peñate could have taken things a little bit further in some cases. Upon first listening to this album, it was immediately clear that this would be different from what we'd heard from Jack Peñate in the past. The sparse, isolated bass line that opens up Prayer makes it immediately obvious to listeners that this will be different from what we've previously heard from Jack Peñate. It's apparent that this will be a more mature, stripped back project from Peñate, and Prayer opens it up well and makes it clear that Jack Peñate has really been on a spiritual journey these last few years we haven't heard from him. There's a psychedelic tint to this track, which is in effect throughout this project. Murder's the best track on here and is centered around a disco-inspired groove line. Murder feels dark and claustrophobic as Peñate apologizes to the people he's hurt in the past. And the hand clap percussion, which becomes more noticeable in the second half of the track, really just makes this feel like a nod to disco. Murder is thoroughly enjoyable and is the best track on here. It's immediately followed by Gemini, which is built around the morose piano loop. This track is personal to Peñate and features his uncle reading a poem written by Mervyn Peake, who is actually Jack Peñate's grandfather. His delivery is fantastic and really captures the emotion of the track. Gemini and Murder are perfectly placed next to each other in the track listing, and together they add emotional weight to the project. I thoroughly enjoyed After You. Jack Peñate has taken things in a much more psychedelic direction. It feels like he's a bit of a shaman, spirit guide, taking you through this journey of his mind. So for me, Jack Peñate, After You is worthy of 7 out of 10.